Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update, screaming into the void, which is too long of a name, so instead, they called it Twitter. I have been on the platform since 2009, and I have used it for whoring my gigs, whoring my merch, whoring my DVDs, and at times, calling people whores. Sorry. Sometimes I go back through things I've tweeted and realize I sincerely need help. So apologies to all of you whores. I have enjoyed the platform. It has made me be funnier faster. I've enjoyed talking to people I respect and am fans of. But now, one guy I was a fan of bought it. Elon Musk, the guy that made electric cars cool, that made space cooler, and not run by the Russians anymore. He did Hyperloop, Neuralink, and the Boring Company. Yes! And he is not playing. He is smart, and in the last few years, with government subsidies, of course, and people like me talking about how great he is, he's amassed a fortune of $250 billion. So he decided to stop hunger, change healthcare worldwide, and put that money into curing cancer to make a better world. I'm lying. He bought Twitter for $44 billion. Way to change the world, bro. That's right. The man admits he has Asperger's, which is a social disorder. He bought a social network. That's insane. Who would do that? Good point. Maybe there aren't social networks. Maybe they're instead anti-social networks. Yeah, you can stay in your room, not have to meet anyone, not face them as you talk shit, and your face is safe from getting punched out. Thank you for that, by the way. So, Musk bought an anti-social network for $44 billion. A homeless man I talked to said he was happy because the voices in my head can get their account back. I'm kidding. It wasn't a homeless guy. It was her. So Musk said he is a free speech absolutist. Not sure what that means. Does that mean anybody can say anything, no matter who it hurts, kills, maims, ruins, sets on fire, or drowns? Because the last guy who thought there was no limits on free speech tried to end democracy and free speech. So good luck to Elon. And full disclosure, we own 2 of your cars, my friend. I loved your little bit of insanity in the corporate wasteland of safety and taking zero chances. I've made money from your stock. Yeah, that's right. I admit it. But wealth, unchecked, is a disease, Elon, and it is tough to beat. When you are so wealthy that no one ever says no or ever stops your every whim, when you no longer have to worry, stress, or fear, your normal human rhythms stop. And you become a self-centered, arrogant, narcissistic douchebag that can do no wrong and believes he knows better. Like me, except without the $250 billion part. So Elon, I hope you make money off of Twitter. Sorry. I hope you make back all the money that you lost on Tesla when you bought Twitter after people realized how insane you are to buy Twitter. And I'm going to say this one last thing, Elon, and they mean this. Dude. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Dude, really? $250 billion? I quit. I give up. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. How are you guys doing today? Hope the world is not feeling to you like it feels to the rest of us. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There can be only one.
Yes, there can. Holy crap, man. So, well, I guess, you're not going to be able to follow me on Twitter much longer. I'm going to move over to, I think, Instagram totally, which you prefer anyway.
Are you officially making it this is as an announcement?
Man, it's not even that. Look, every good thing comes to an end. That's just how it happens. And I joined in 2009. I think the first day, even though I had a TV, close to a TV show, I ended up with, and I did a bit about followers. There's no such thing as followers, really. It's just, it's all imaginary. And as we're finding out, I guess there was a bot purge this week, and everybody was, big people were complaining. Very famous people were like, I lost 1,000 followers today. I'm like, are you? It's imaginary. It's all
has no impact on you at all.
It's all in the ether. I mean, big people, and so it doesn't matter. I've always taken it as just fun and joyous, and arguing with certain people about.
That's the feeling I get when I look at your Twitter. Fun, joyous.
Yeah. And now Elon Musk has ruined that.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yes. Right. The light, the hallmark light that I brought to Twitter every day. And I don't know if it's ruined yet. So here's what happened. So you guys may not, I'm sure you know, if you follow us at all, Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter. As I said in the Armageddon Update, he did not put $10 billion into cancer research. He did not put $10 billion into solving world hunger. And he did not put $10 billion into, changing
anything
a machine
of real
that
value
changes the weather. Fuck.
He fucking put it into a fucking website.
Climate change. He put it into, by the way, a bitch site. It's just a bitch site. All Twitter is a place where you go to bitch.
It's a fucking chat room.
And I like it. It's a worldwide chat room. That's all it is. Totally. And he paid $44 billion. And the problem, I was reading some financial stuff about Twitter, and the problem with Twitter is that Twitter's been really bad at figuring out how to monetize it. They don't know how to monetize it. I think Insta's better at it. Facebook's great at it.
Yeah.
And so it's a weird move. It's not a move. It doesn't feel like a business move. It feels like a "you guys aren't talking about me" move.
It's a power move.
Oh yeah. And again, anybody who tries to here's when you know you've done something wrong. When all the people, all the trolls, all the evil fucks that tried to overthrow the government and tried to screw this country start applauding you. You got to look around who's liking you.
Right. What side are you actually on?
You got to look around and go, hey, all these assholes that think I'm the coolest dude ever.
You're championing them? They're for you?
Right.
Dude.
And he called himself a free speech absolutist, which, free speech even in the Constitution has its limits.
Yeah.
You can't.
What is that? What is he trying to free up? Look at Twitter now. You can fucking say.
That's a good point.
What else is there?
You're right. We've been oppressed. Fuck you. We're oppressed. I'll fight you anywhere. Like, we do stuff all the time. Like, stuff is said on Twitter all the time. By the way, that was not a gay slur. Everyone relax. We do stuff all the time on
what's
Twitter.
Next? He's gonna come out with like a fucking Twitter like VR, and when somebody yells at you, you could punch somebody for real.
You get a punch their avatar. Punch. Do you get a punch their avatar? And I don't know if you want a guy. So last week, Bill Gates, I guess, shorted Tesla stock, and Bill Gates weirdly is a genius because Tesla stock dropped 121.
It's really funny that Bill Gates did that.
Dropped $121
because he likes Bill Gates so much.
Wait, what did Bill Gates do now?
So Bill Gates, I guess, bought a bunch of Tesla stock.
Is that why he posted that nasty tweet about him?
Yes, but who are you? You're worth $250 billion. You're literally the richest man on the planet Earth. Your brain is so good that you changed space travel again. You actually saved this country from having to pay for Russian rockets. You actually took a car that General Motors couldn't make happen. And
but hold on.
It's not his real idea. He didn't do it. He took it from someone else. Yes.
Here's what we forget though. When he posts these like wild, we view them as wild. He has Asperger's. He's so successful in all of these areas of all kinds of industries. But when his communication is like, what is he, a fifth grader?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes.
Socially, yeah.
So he posted a Bill Gates, a bad picture of Bill Gates, and then a avatar of Bill Gates with a big bubble gut.
Pregnant Bill Gates.
And did you see it?
Yeah.
And he said how to lose a boner fast.
Weird.
I can't believe. I mean,
boner though.
Yeah, all of it.
And
then he went.
Bill Gates had a boner. So, and then I access my inner 5-year-old, which I can do very fast. And I put a picture of him before he got his hair plugs, and I just put "or faster." And then I posted a picture of me when I was a little kid, that picture that we have, and I put "or even faster," covering my own ass. So we've got this guy who in certain areas is fucking brilliant. I mean, he's brilliant. And you look at this, what he's doing now, and I go, I think that's why I said in the Armageddon update, money is a disease. At one point, people don't, you can't imagine 250 sounds like 250, right? Here's how much $250 billion is. $1 million. Everybody be happy with $1 million, right? So 1 billion is $999 million plus one. That's 1 billion. So imagine having $999 million. I'm sure you'd still come to work. You'd still be here all the time.
Of course, you know I would.
I'm sure you'd stay married to me.
I show up on days when I'm not even supposed to be here.
And I'm sure you'd stay married to me.
I would be.
So $999 million plus one is $1 billion. He's got $999 million.
I was listening
so hard. He's got $999 million plus $250 million.
You just laid that out. I still can't comprehend it. Can you one more time? I can't.
So all right. So picture 10 million. Okay. So 10 million times that by 10. That's 100 million. Now that's $100 million. Now take that $100 million and times that by 10.
Is that like going to the moon?
That's That's 1 billion. That's 1 billion.
Yes.
He's got 250 of those. And again, it's, you know, it fucks it up, the 250, because it's such a tiny number. You're like, oh, it's only 250. He's got only $999 million plus one. Fuck.
So like world hunger and climate change would cost him like a nickel.
It's weird. That's what I think.
And yet he wants to buy.
I think that's what, and people get all mad about this. I was tweeted about this, and they're like, "Oh man, it's his money. He can do what he wants." I go, "Yeah, that's true. I agree with that 100%." But you know, we donate all the time. We don't have any. We're not even.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
You're right. You don't have to. But I'm saying we give a shit enough if people need stuff. We're there. And I just don't understand why would you pick this? Okay, you could literally change history. Mm-hmm. You've got the kind of money that could change history. Yep. Instead of changing history,
like Mackenzie Scott,
you're changing Marjorie Taylor Greene getting her personal Twitter account back.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And it only cost you 999 millions plus 44 million.
I don't like this math thing that you're doing. It's making my head hurt.
Because it's a lot
499 10 millions and then 12 billion 7,000 of those 12 billions.
It's the only way I could even kind of wrap my mind around the mass of it.
Brain hurting.
Yeah.
So 250 billion, that's what California pays in federal taxes every year. And we are the fifth richest country in the world, California. We're not a country, but if we were.
We're the fifth 100,000.
Shut up! Now I'm...
It's hurting my brain.
But because the money is so big.
But here's the thing, though, the world gave him that money. Well, through our systems, through
his father gave him a lot of it.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know that. I didn't know the family owned emerald mines in South Africa.
Is that true that they actually owned it, or was he like an engineer? I don't know what the truth is on that.
I just read. I'm not sure because I don't know what's true anymore.
Because it's on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just reading.
She went through 999 million websites plus a million.
If you look it up on Twitter today, it's not there.
1,000 websites. What? Why are we just saying? Okay. Elon Musk emerald mines. That's what they were, right?
Right.
In South
supposedly,
Africa?
Yeah.
He said in 2019 that he worked his own way through college and that the rumors are BS.
That's funny. Worked his own way.
His father, the SouthAfrican.com, the South African paper, that's what it's called, wrote an article about it, about Errol Musk, his father. Elon Musk said he did not own an emerald mine, and I worked my way through college. I was $100,000 in student debt, or 101,000. I couldn't even afford a second
$10
PC.
plus
10
times 10
1,000 times 10. What? So I don't know. He argues it,
but he's a white. Okay. He's a white South African during the time of apartheid.
Right.
That there is some fucking racist benefits
let's
going
take all
on
this
there.
aside, because I always hate when
his dad only has a net worth of $2 million though.
Yeah,
so that
I always
sound right.
hate, and his mom seems to be really nice. I hate when people go back through someone's history sometimes and just start to trash it, because what I do know about him, I read the book. What I do know about the dude, and let's cover Elon's good side first.
Okay.
So Elon did that. He did that. Then he invested in PayPal. Mm-hmm. They took that. He sold that for $330 million. And then what happened is he took every dime of that. There's another guy, I forget the guy's name, who took him for a ride in an electric car that he was building. Mm-hmm. And he took Elon for a ride. Elon said, we're starting a company. So Elon didn't, just to be clear, guys, Elon Musk did not invent the electric car. He just took the guy's idea. That guy then got aced from the company. Sorry. I was saying
AIDS from the company?
No, aced. Sorry. Okay. Damn it, different company. So just to be clear, so then he started SpaceX. And SpaceX was they were bidding for contracts with NASA because at the time, and here's what people don't know about the guy. We were only buying Russian rockets to go to the space station. So we had to pay Russia. And look, by the way, how would that have worked out had he not got involved? Because we were paying crazy amounts of money, 80 million or whatever per rocket. We're not doing math anymore. They're just numbers. Don't mean anything.
10 millions.
Damn it! You always find a way to make me stupider than I feel. So he then took all of his money, invested in SpaceX to develop rockets and stuff. Does it. took up to, I think they were down to $3 million. He had $3 million, and he only had enough to get people paid through Christmas, and he was bankrupt. And that Christmas, NASA called and awarded him a $2.8 billion contract. So to be clear, the guy has put his ass on the line, and he's put his money where his mouth is over and over and over and over. He really has. But he's done it for him. You know, space. He wants to put everybody on Mars. He wants to build electric cars. That being said, so he has helped. He has helped. This though, Twitter, and I'm on Twitter and I like it, and I know it doesn't help.
Yeah,
it doesn't help. What has Twitter done good? Someone pointed this out when they got on mad, and I went, "All right, guys. I've been on this for over a decade. It hasn't cured anything. It hasn't fixed anything. It hasn't made anything better.
No, anything, you've actually heard more about Facebook, which I hate to say, helping when like Myanmar was having that uprising, things like that, where people used I mean, I'm guessing they've done the same with Twitter. The one thing that I have seen positive come out of Twitter, and this is hard for me to even say, it's like me trying to say something nice about Trump because I hate how much he's on Twitter, is you have met some cool people on Twitter that you have ended up getting to know. Yeah. You know, so that's been interesting, I think. It's done nothing for us,
but I also think, and I'm so guilty of this. I think it freed us up for, and I think some of the social shit that's going on in the country right now post COVID is partly due to Twitter and Facebook, because in the real world, you used to have to get someone on the phone or face them and talk shit.
Yeah,
and there's always an implicit threat there. I'm gonna get punched. We're gonna get in a physical altercation.
For 1,010,000 years. Yes. We're wired to read for 1 billion years. We've been wired to read body language and facial expressions.
Right.
And, you know.
Am I making somebody mad?
Yes.
Social grace. Social
an inherent thing that we don't even know that we use every second of every day.
Social graces came out of getting punched in the face.
Well, social graces, but also, you know, like when texting created this a lot too. Texting created a lot of family fights. Yeah. Because how often there's
no tone.
There's no context, no body language, no tone, no nothing. And so I sometimes will read things and be like, wow, she's being a bitch.
And for people with Asperger's or other social issues, this is their preferred way to communicate. Yeah. Because all those social cues, they don't pick up anyway. They don't have it anyway.
Yes.
So they can just, you know, and like you said, they can do things like just from their comfort of their keyboard.
So now he's going to unleash all of those people that make, and I'm bad enough. Like I'm sure there's been a conversation 1 or 2 times where they're like, this guy maybe needs to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, no, but look he said 10 nice things. There's 10 nice things. Oh, all right, but these other 15 are pretty bad. The problem is that I'm always backing up with articles and facts. So when someone says something dumb and I go, listen, you fucking moron, and then I back it up, they're like, well, the guy was kind of a fucking moron. Though I didn't have to say fuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm getting better. I've tried to get better.
If you're truly going to...
I go through phases.
Are you really going to close your account, or are you just going to take a break? I'm going
to see what happens. Now, here's what happened yesterday. It was the weirdest thing, man, because I didn't expect it. I thought, because Elon Musk has such a shine on him with anything he takes on, except for Neuralink. Neuralink killed 8. Neuralink is supposed to connect biologically computer chips to our own brains. So they want to chip us. So that's what I said. I said, the government doesn't want to chip you. Elon Musk wants to chip you.
Exactly. Yes.
So you're just driving down the street. What's going on?
And the conservatives love him. Like he's like,
that's the weird part.
He's the one who wants to chip you.
That's the weird part. Well, they've killed 8 gorillas or monkeys trying to do it.
No.
Yep. They've already killed, and you know, they had to admit that they basically were experimenting on monkeys, and that they killed 8 of them with Neuralink. And you know, he's got the Boring Company where he made it so he made this giant drill that can actually is big enough for a car that goes, it's like 10 times faster. It makes everything cheaper to go through. So he wants to put This doesn't sound like a bad thing at all for a disaster movie. He wants to put tunnels everywhere to relieve traffic.
Somebody who grew up around like mines wants to do drilling.
Yeah,
and drill
that's
tunnels.
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
Huh?
Maybe he feels
things?
like he drills enough holes and gets the rights. Maybe he's just looking to hit a vein of something. You're like, no, I was doing it for traffic, but
I found unobtainium in here.
Yeah, I'm now worth $500 billion, which, by the way, is 999.
Oh my gosh!
No. Your reaction to kill me. So Neuralink's doing that. Then he's got another company called Hyperloop, which he actually kind of drew. He literally did a drawing of a tube. They put mail in tubes. Do you know what Hyperloop is?
Yes.
You know what it is?
Yes.
So they put
it's a hallway for cars. You just pass under like a toll. That's how you've seen the first one. It's like 10 feet.
Yeah. Well, they want to do is it's a giant plastic tubes which are cheap. It's cheaper than rail because like California's burning all these billions of dollars on a rail thing we still don't have. And the first link is between Bakersfield and Modesto.
There's nobody who lives there. Who's going to take it?
We need the high-speed
rail.
Pass
right through it. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but you have to.
That's the only reason I've heard. What are you doing? Getting past fucking Modesto.
Get the fuck
but
through
you
here.
have to get out there.
Yeah, you got to get
you
it out
don't
first.
get to pass it. You have to get out. And
you have to drive out to it, yeah. So
no, I mean you have to get off that train in Modesto.
Yeah, and then get a car, go where you're going to go, right. It's not.
So you're actually coming in close contact with Modesto.
So Hyperloop, if you look it up, it's this tube. It goes through a tube like when in the old movies when they send this mail to the third floor, and it gets sucked up. So it was they would take the pressure out of the tube and they would have a fan and it would blow up to 700 miles an hour. Problem they found out is that when like any kind of even gentle corners. People were just like, ow.
I feel like that's a Tom and Jerry. I'm just like, boop, 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 boop.
So they could make it the way they can make it. It's like literally a third the cost of building high speed rail. So the guy's not a moron, but when it comes to this, it just seems like that's when I was writing Armageddon. I thought money is a disease because there's a point you have so much. You're like, you know what I want to do? Whatever I want. and that's what he's doing. Yep. And I don't know where this goes, but back to what happened yesterday. So he buys Twitter for $44. All the extreme liberals at Twitter freak out. They start crying. The head of Twitter had a meeting and broke out into tears. Had all these questions going, what's going to happen to it? What's going to happen to it? Yeah, isn't it good to know that you're on top of it? He was claiming that like they stopped the New York Post from posting because they were posting shit about that wasn't true about Hunter Biden. Now he's saying, oh, that article's proven to be true. And he's saying that, it's free speech. So he does this. He's got all these other companies. Tesla was at $1,018 a share. And that's after it split 5 ways, where it was $2,000. So which means now if you had an original a share of Tesla, it was worth $5,000 a share.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what I sold, but we have a nice house. We have a good house. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Is this I still?
So you can't put that face on Twitter.
Is it still twitching? Is it still twitching? So, but. It dropped $121 a share, so which means besides Elon Musk losing, Tesla lost $121 billion of value yesterday, and he personally lost $21 billion, which is weird. This is where I think Anonymous gets involved, because $21 billion cash is what he said he was putting down and then financing the rest of Twitter. That's not weird.
I thought it was oddly coincidental.
That it just happened to be the exact same amount of money that he was putting down cash. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I said, hey, Anonymous, anybody got an update on this? And so the company started to tank. I think here's what happens when you're an asshole long enough. If you're a psycho long enough, what ends up happening is eventually.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, yes, Titus, perfect example.
Okay.
Eventually, people just turn away and they go, you know what? Life's too short to deal with you. And I think that's kind of what's starting to happen. Was when he started Tesla, he kept talking about how he wanted to change the world. He wanted climate change. He wanted to save it, which is, I think he's a politician because that's a great answer. And in fact, he gave all his patents for Tesla. He open sourced them. And people go, oh, what a great guy.
Yeah, I thought so too. No?
No.
Okay.
He did that 2 years in. They'd already invented 5 things more. that they didn't patent, because eventually in patents, what ends up happening is you eventually have to actually release your patent.
Right.
So here's all the old shit, guys, enjoy it. That's what he did.
Right.
He gave them,
but I thought that he didn't have to do it that early. He
true.
could still have.
At least those guys got a head start.
I forgot about that. I did think that was a good thing. I was trying to think of something that we thought might have been a good thing. That was one.
But weird shit like now batches. So he says he's calling the World Health Organization, WHO. He's like, all right, if you guys will just give me a plan how to solve world hunger, I'll give $6 billion. So I sat down and did the math on that. I'm like, all right, there's 8 billion. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it yet. Okay. I'm not doing. There's 8 billion in the world, which is 999. Ray had to go take a call, by the way, which is 9. So what happened was that he took all that. He told you guys, give me a detailed plan. I'll give you $6 billion to solve world hunger.
But they gave him.
They did. They gave him a plan. They gave him a plan, and
like that day. And here it is.
We got it. Hold on.
We've been working on it for 50 years.
We've been working on this since the 30s.
A plan.
We go bam, and he didn't give it to him. And I figured that. I sat down and figured it out, and I was like, if there's 690 million starving and or food insecure, hungry people, if you gave $6 billion, it's $8.68 per person. Mm-hmm. They couldn't go to Chipotle. They could get chips, but they couldn't get a burrito.
But yeah, I mean, you get beans though. You get rice,
but it's still $6 billion. I get it. But the difference is, it's that story. It's that story in the Bible, and I'm because Ray's not here. She's the story in the Bible for me is that old lady who had she had 3 pennies, and she was at church, and they were doing the offering at the end, and the millionaire, the rich guy, came over and he drops $400 in the thing, and he goes $400, and at that time it would be like 10,000 today, which is 99. Sorry, and then the old woman came by and she took everything. She had 3 pennies and she put them all in. And as they leave, Jesus is like, he blesses her, cures her blindness, makes her young, whatever he did in the Bible. Ray knows. And the rich guy's like, dude, I just dropped $400. I just took 10 grand. He's like, yeah, but you have millions. She gave every single dime she had, penny she had. So I think that's I think that's what offends people. There's something inside when you have so much. And especially as smart as he is, that's the one thing about healthcare. I kept thinking, this is the one guy I would trust to sit down and figure out how to make it so we could actually all have healthcare in a way, and he would be a hero for the ages.
Yes.
And again, it's his money. Do what you want. But I just think people make weird choices.
And I think that's why why instinctively we're saying, like, when you look at a serial killer, you're always like, how the fuck did this happen?
Right.
You have to start and go, how did the richest guy get this much money? And now instead of putting that money into things that can actually help people, he buys a fucking who gives a shit website for influence.
That was the original name of it, by the way. The original name of Twitter was Who Gives a Shit. And I use it a lot, but Who Gives a Shit?
Hashtag Who Gives a Shit.
The Who Gives a Shit network. Yeah, you're right. And Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex, as you brought up earlier, people go, what do you think he should do? Someone got all mad at me. They're on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, man, all these billionaires, they only care about themselves. And I just wrote back Mackenzie Scott. And if you look it up, she's actually, I think she walked with 40 billion. Then she's already given away 13 or 17 billion dollars. And here's how much money billions are. She can't spend it. She's now worth 55 billion
because it just keeps compounding.
And she's giving
That's
away.
How much it is.
She's giving away like she should. Now, if you do simple math, here's how much money that is. Simple math: 55. We have $40 billion. You give away 17. How many billions do you have? You have 27 billion. No, she has 55 billion. That's how much money billion is.
I think once you reach that threshold of like
you can't spend it.
It just keeps going into accounts and they just keep compounding.
You can't spend it.
It needs all the extra money that comes in for you is not for you. It needs to go back to society.
But the other bad news is this is what happened in the 30s too. I mean, the numbers weren't as big, but value was the same. This was happening in the 30s, in the 20s, man. And those guys, at least, say what you want, the Vanderbilts, the Mellons, the Carnegies, they did do good things. They were rich as fuck, but they did good things with that money. Some of them. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get a response on the. You're imagining the response. They were robber barons that killed everything. They sucked the life out of the Chinese and they built the railroads on the backs of. Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen Hearst Castle?
I take it. I went to Hearst Castle. It's the craziest place I've ever been. Hearst Castle. That is
the grossest display of
wealth.
Fucking hoarding.
Yeah.
Fucking. There's like church. He bought church pews.
Guys,
fucking put him in his garage.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
So William Randolph Hearst, what he did was he started buying newspapers across the country, which were at the time were Twitter, and so he could control the media. And they started calling it yellow journalism because he would basically just tell the papers, like Rupert Murdoch does, here's what you say.
Right.
You own the media, you own the news. You own the media, you own the news, you own the truth. And even if it's a lie, you own the truth. So that's what Musk is doing right now. So we go to Hearst Castle. I went with my uncle. This is my uncle Les. Rest in peace. We were there one time, and he was the black sheep of the family because he became a Mormon. And
how did he become a Mormon?
He joined. He joined. You can become Jewish. He joined. Okay. And so me and my dad were just thrashing him at Hearst Castle all day. But Hearst Castle is a weird place. It's a weird place. It's not. It's San Simeon. It's gorgeous. It's weird though. You go in, there's still art there.
Yeah, and it's all just piled next to each other. Like he just like bought you. There's this like ancient Japanese statues next to like a Roman painting.
This is when you could. Like this was 100 years ago. So he would just go fucking India and buy all their cool shit, like all their in Egypt, all their cool shit, and he had in boxes in crates, and it just sat in his house.
And a lot of those he took from countries that as a debt repayment. Like for something, like he would lend them or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the full story.
And they're literally historical artifacts that only deserve to be in museums. And
I think that the argument that people have the right to spend their money however they want to is 100% valid.
Right.
I think that we're just bitching about what he should have done with his money.
True, I agree with that.
I mean, we're being your ex-wife. Right?
No, I will not take that.
Constant letters every week of
By the way, my ex-wife, take hate. Okay, take one level of hate, the hate you feel, times it by 1,000.
Turn it into a diamond.
Then turn that into
and plant it into the anus of your worst enemy.
And then set it on fire so they're angrier. That's my...
Let me say, I disagree with that because there are things on the planet that you should not be able to buy. Like when we dedicate parks or when we say this is this is a thing.
No, but I'm saying what is available to buy. He has every right to buy.
True, I agree with this.
We're just bitching. But at the heart of the matter is us having lived through the last 5 years and now fearing, based on his insane behavior, what he's going to turn this into, because he's obviously really started to like the negative attention, the Joe Rogan kind of attention. He started the Trump kind of stuff.
Because it all feels the same to somebody with Asperger's.
It's not even out. Oh my God. It feels the same to somebody who's completely out of touch. He has so much money and so many people kissing his ass. And I think that what we're worried about is that for a minute, for a brief, blessed moment, we had Donald Trump shut down in some big way that we knew really mattered to him and in a way that he used to incite a riot. It was him tweeting constantly to those people and then reading it all day, every day.
I just want to clear something up. He didn't incite a riot. He incited the overthrow of democracy and taking down America, the biggest, strongest country in the world.
But he incited a lot of stuff
He
all
did,
along,
but I mean,
but that was the
people forget
culmination.
is having him on Twitter and all those assholes that they didn't start editing, because Twitter used to, I mean, it's bad enough now.
It also made COVID much worse than it had to be in a developed, civilized country. I mean, we approached it like, uncivilized areas in a third world country in some ways, because Trump was tweeting stuff. They were all tweeting stuff. It was unsafe for public health. What we're afraid of is, sure, he can buy Twitter. That's his right. But it's kind of terrifying, what he's going to do with it.
That's the most dangerous thing, is that all these robber barons, they can buy a newspaper. Those aren't nearly as influential as Twitter is, because the newspapers, like they have journalists. There's like it's a group of people that are vetted and the whole thing. With Twitter, any fucking idiot,
dipshit like me, right?
can just be an influencer.
You don't have to work to get a platform or to get reach.
So it
You
should
don't
be
have to be
You
community
actually
owned.
get a faster reach and platform by being completely insane because everybody wants to go watch the shit show. Something I thought was really interesting this past week, Fetus was here for a production meeting. Fetus, our old sidekick.
We're filming our the new special, Zero Side Effects.
And he's 30 now. He asked me if I still had to call him Fetus, and I said yes.
Yes, that's not going to happen.
So he said that the only way Twitter works for those people is if we're there. Because Trump started Truth Social, and they went there, and then they were like, but the people we want to humiliate and bully and argue with aren't there. So
There's no libs to own here.
Yeah, so they come back to Twitter. Truth Social tanked. And so I did think that was interesting that there is power in that. People have to know that, though. They need to know that.
Yeah, well, that's what I tweeted. I go, the Twitter is not a product. The people on Twitter are the product.
Yeah.
We're the product. It's the reason, the reason that you want to, I get to see what is Patton Oswalt thinking. I love Patton.
Yeah.
If Chris Rock tweets, I'm like, holy shit, Chris Rock tweeted today. There's things that I want to see from people I like. And I have some of that, a little bit of that where they,
Well, that's people get to see up close and personal in the moment insight into famous people's minds and their lives. Yeah. Instagram is,
but also free jokes from my favorite comics. I'm fine. I love that.
Totally cool. Yeah.
I love that. I've got to write. I mean, I've written long threads of essays about like where the country is and stuff, and it gets for me. It's the dopamine hit, but it's also I get to get it out. It also helps me. I think it's helped me become a better writer. But
here's what terrified me. My sister. A lot of you guys know my sister is conservative and definitely moves in different circles than you and I do, and I love her and respect her, everything that she does.
She's awesome. Your sister's
she's amazing.
Great.
We're
she's
exactly the same person if you heard her speak or hung out with us.
Yeah.
But if we then told you our political views, you'd be like, whoa.
You would go, huh?
And her husband, same way, like exact opposite beliefs from you. And anyway.
But he and I get along fine.
Yeah. But she told me today we were texting and she said she's not been sleeping. And my sister she's 7 years older than I am. And she's always kind of stayed out of technology type stuff. Like I had to convince her to sign in to get a PayPal account this year. She's just not. And she was very proud of herself the first time she Zelled me money. It's like she just has always, she's got a PhD. She's kind of like, sort of, I don't want to say above it, but kind of,
different world, just a different world.
I'm this one in the family. She's the one that's like, I don't need to be on that. Well, I said, why can't you sleep? And she goes, I don't know, a lot of combination of things. She's at Grandma Jean's and she goes, and plus she goes, I just laid in bed all night on Twitter, looking at Twitter, and I went, oh no, she got it. She started to get it. And people in the conservative world have started retweeting some of her stuff. So she's getting a lot of followers. And so she's now starting to get that hit.
Oh, I hope she doesn't follow me. Please tell her not to follow me.
No, heck no. She tried, then she unfollowed you.
Good,
she said you probably needed a little bit of help or therapy or something. She agreed that you on there, knowing you personally, and certainly we know that you say your beliefs all the time loudly to anyone that will listen, like especially if you think they disagree, but your heart does not show on there at all. And I know people that only know you on Twitter probably like, this dude is an asshole and he's a blowhard and he's obnoxious.
I am more than
and
one
loud.
thing.
But at home, that's not who you are at all. You're really gentle and loving and sweet.
Here's the problem I had. The reason I became that guy on Twitter is because
I like that you talked over those. Me telling
thank you for
really
being so nice
gentle,
to me. I am nice.
Loving.
John Brown, our buddy John Brown.
He sings songs to the puppies.
Our buddy John Brown goes, "Hey guys, I've known this guy for 16 years. Like, it's kind of a bummer when people have to go, hey man, you're getting this dude wrong. I know this dude. He's helped me through 3 or 4 different sides. But the reason that I'm like that is strident because what happened during Trump, what happened in the last 6 years was you get all these people come in and it was this barrage of bullshit. Fuck you, Trump's the best. Fuck you. And so what I did was I'm like, well, how do you counter this? Because the Democrats are horrible at it. They're fucking horrible at it. They can't figure out how to they can't message at all. They can't, they don't know. They can't pick a fucking message that's 3 words, make America great again for it. Right. They need to do that because that's the only way you turn it. So I started going, well, I'm going to start nailing everybody.
They tried Build Back Better.
I'm going to try. No, someone said you need to point out that do you want the insanity, craziness, and treason of the last administration? Is that what you want? Do you want insanity and treason? Do you? That's it. But they need to nail that. Someone said yesterday, they need to bring that up all the time. The economy tanked. We had treason and daily insanity. Is that what you want again?
I would do ads. Like if I were Biden,
we're going to start doing those.
I would do ads like that showed former Republican presidents and be like, we may not have agreed with them, but they were good men. And show good, decent.
Someday they tried, yeah.
People that maybe we don't like about? Everything they did.
Eisenhower. We have to go back to Eisenhower.
No, I mean, I know.
We got to go way back.
I know,
Lincoln.
Like crazy. I'm not saying. I'm saying like crazy stuff. But at their heart, George Bush 1 and 2, they were not trying. Certainly, the second one was trying to make a lot of money off of oil and gas in the
first
Middle
one
East.
too.
But I'm just saying, at their heart, they weren't going to burn down the government. They would never overthrow an election. George 1 lost, and he left, and continued to support the government. I mean, it's like
Al Gore was just like
W lost and stayed.
Well,
right. That's what I'm saying. When you start going down this list, so Reagan hit. When Reagan happened, we needed Reagan, and I keep saying this.
Yeah, but court ruled. I mean, I'm saying that went through the courts. I'm not saying
they
was
weren't
right.
done. No, Al Gore gave it up. Al Gore did the right thing and was like, guys, we're not.
See, there you go. There's your whole point.
But Al Gore's a Democrat.
That's what I'm saying. Democrats don't. They just give up too easily.
Yeah. He said for the good of the country.
Like we could point out big D Democratic presidents that we don't agree with things that they did in hindsight. Certainly we could look at Nixon. And
Nixon was Republican.
Shit. I've always thought he was a Democrat. Are we
serious?
serious?
That's why I keep saying it. That's why I'm saying every time a Democrat. Here's what I don't. Do you want to?
Okay, hold on. Let me think of a Democrat. No, see, NAFTA.
Clinton.
We don't like that, but you. Well, we didn't like the whole blowjob debacle thing.
That doesn't. It has nothing to do with policy. Trump fucked porn stars. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
God, I'm just saying that if we point to Republican and Democratic presidents in the past. We could all agree that we don't like everything that either of them did necessarily, but we could agree that at their heart and at their core, they were people that we would give our left arm to have back instead of Trump.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a list of
My whole point is to just point out how crazy we let it go.
Yeah.
And to say, let's get back to this amount of crazy, not this much crazy.
Right.
But also, Nixon was a Republican. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't any. I mean, that's why
Oh, of course he was a Republican.
All the
Roger
research.
Stone.
I went back through. I went back through.
I'm having a brain.
Because you remember, so we started the podcast 12 years ago, and I was talking about, and I did it because I wanted to force myself to write every week, the Armageddon Update, and then I started getting involved because I had to pay attention because I had to write every week, and I started paying attention. And people would say some shit about Republican presidents are always better, and so I would go look at that and look at the research, and I started figuring out that holy shit. That every time back to Eisenhower, we have a Republican, the economy tanks. We have a crisis that destroys the economy, and this money doesn't disappear; it just gets shifted.
Well, money got shifted during Clinton as well.
No, it didn't.
We were booming,
right?
But now look where it's gotten us.
Oh, I would say
that's what I'm saying.
NAFTA
it's all shite.
NAFTA as a long-term plan, and
to be honest, I really liked Clinton a lot.
I
really kind of had a little bit of like, oh my god! I told you guys he came and spoke at my school
when I was
in New Orleans, and I just thought he was just so cool.
You got that charm.
He has charm. I just thought he was so cool. But in hindsight, you see problems.
But in hindsight, yes, NAFTA. In hindsight, there was a problem, but during his administration, that wasn't. I mean, we boomed. It's not all his fault, or he doesn't get credit for it either, because you remember we went from a landline phone technology to cell phones and laptops. So in the entire world changed in about 9 years, and he just happened to be there as we all went, fuck this TV, I know flat screen TV, fuck this thing, I want a computer. So he did benefit from that. NAFTA was a problem. But I'm just saying that so I went through it, and by the way, you guys can all back me up. Please give me the information. I thought we needed Reagan at the time. When I was a kid, Nixon had just fucking fucked everything up. And then Carter came in.
Do you remember that, or were you too little?
I was little. My dad bitched about him, but Carter is a great man. Carter is our Mother Teresa.
People didn't necessarily like him at the time.
Well, there was,
But now we're all like, oh, Habitat for Humanity.
Oh no, he's a good dude.
Guy.
Well, what happened was they tried to rescue all. It could have gone bad for Obama too.
He was handed a shit show.
He was handed a shit show after Nixon left, and then it got shittier.
And Obama.
And then it got shittier because the train doesn't stop, and it's a new train. They have to slow down. So and then everybody hated Carter, and then Reagan came in as this knowing how to work the media, and was like, and we spent so much money, and he put us in big debt, but we ended the Cold War, which is now back.
But wouldn't
so we got 30 years.
I guess I think about it like maybe what is it? Because I keep thinking about a lot of those past presidents. I would be fine with having on the other side of the ticket, instead of a Trump, DeSantis.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene
Mo
type
Brooks,
people, Boebert, all
Gates.
of them, Josh Hawley, Jim Jordan, like any of those. But then I think, well, I guess none of them were that great either. I mean, you think about Clinton was putting a cigar in a 19, 20-year-old intern in the Oval Office, but he left. He still lied in court. He said, depends on what your definition of is. So that sucked too. So I guess really we've never had any good people. And
like he said,
I'm
Lincoln.
done here.
And Lincoln, but even Lincoln ignored his wife who
Although
had depression.
we only know like
didn't
14
ignore
things
her.
about Lincoln. Like, what else do we know? I mean, there was no
You know
information.
damn well.
He
Mary,
lost every election forever until
you know
he became
damn
president.
well that Lincoln
He had
many
a beard
times.
and a big hat. That's all we know.
That many times Lincoln left the house sitting with his coachman and went, "This bitch," you know damn well. She just won't. About nothing. She's upset about nothing because they didn't even know what depression was really. She had the consumption, whatever they called it at the time. I don't know.
I'm wrong. We have no one to go back to. I guess I'm just more. I guess then they pretended to have an integrity. They at least were not sociopaths, so they knew that they needed to pretend to have integrity and honor and dignity.
That's the line.
And
There's
that's
a
what
threshold.
we've lost.
Kennedy.
Now people don't even pretend anymore.
Kennedy was a dog.
Yeah, I thought of him
was
too.
a dog, but at the
He
time,
put her in a tunnel. He didn't put it right in people's faces.
right? He walked to the park, and then the
Thank
Secret
you.
Service spirited his
Thank
ass
you.
away. Yes,
Walk naked
for
with a
God's
fucking-
sakes.
Thank you. Dignity.
But he also served, and and the people are going to give. I know the Kennedys. He was a moonshiner. He sold alcohol during Prohibition. Everybody came from a weird place. But Trump got $400 million from his dad, then lost it, declared back for 6 times, and they keep holding this guy as a savior. Listen, you know what I'd really love to have? I'd love to have everybody on the right just go, how about this guy? And have a guy that fucking gave me a record that I was like, I can't argue with. That's what I'd love.
I'm going to change the ad. I'm not going to say go back to good people. Okay. I'm going to say remember this, remember these people, and then just show their faces, except for Nixon. Show their faces on the screen, and then go and show Trump and go, aren't you tired of being tired?
Yeah, wow.
Remember when you weren't tired? And then show them, and then show him, aren't you tired? That's why they need to start pointing out that people have become accustomed to living in an abusive relationship.
Yes, amen.
That heightened fight or flight thing, and that's how we live now, where we're like, oh my God.
And I thought it would stop when Biden got elected, but it didn't. And now I still turn the TV on and I'm like, fuck it.
All thanks to Twitter.
Totally.
Well,
Totally.
Here's a good point. To go back to Twitter. In 2009, you know what Twitter was for? We were joking about if Obama said something silly, we joked about it. We were joking about Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
It was all about celebrity.
that
We were
time.
just ripping on Tiger Blood, blah blah, and we were all funny, and it was fun. The second Trump got elected, Twitter it slid into this morass of political bullshit.
Because spotlight got shown on all of his tweeting, and that's what it was. It was so nasty. So many other people took their lead from that. By the way, if the world gets hard and you are feeling bad and tired and sluggish and down and out, this episode brought to you by Athletic Greens.
Yay!
One of my all-time favorite products. Athletic Greens, I use it in combination with another product that we advertise.
I travel with it.
I travel with the packets. They have individual packets, or you can put it in the big can with the metal scoop. It's all really nice product packaging.
Can I say about the little packets though?
Yeah.
The little packets for me, it is the exact right amount in a bottle of water. It there's enough flavor in it where I can taste it, but not so much that it's overwhelming. I love having because I travel with my computer bag all the time. I got little packets, water, boom, because I'm on the road.
Well, and you can squeeze the thing and it goes right into a mouth of a bottle of water.
It's perfect.
I use it every morning. I use it on an empty stomach. Some people use it before working out or right after working out. Better gut health, more energy, optimized immune system, which we really need if you hate taking lots of pills. Everything's in this. The supplement tastes good. It's got kind of a tropical flavor. It actually has what you're absorbing when you drink it. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. So you can go online and read specifically like
don't
all
read
the
75
stuff,
things.
or look on. No, I'm not. Or look on the back of it. But it's all stuff that your body needs to function the best that it can. And that way you're also not eating 7 heads of lettuce, 12 cabbages, 13 carrots. Non-GMO, less than a gram of sugar, no chemicals added, no artificial sweeteners, flavoring, anything tastes good. You get better sleep quality. I mean, it's like bam, bam, bam. I mean, this is all stuff that your body needs. And if you're not getting it, you don't know how good you can feel. So
here's how good the products we use, and I noticed this recently. I told you, I go, can you order more packets for me? So usually when we get a new advertiser, they'll send us a sample to check it out because we don't say yes to everything. We just don't.
I would, but he doesn't.
She will do anything. What's the product? Sure. Dahmer used these knives. You have no issues at all.
They're the best.
Through bone like that.
Like butter.
You'd be like, no, you would try to convince me to go with it. So I noticed that the products that we advertise, I go to you once in a while. I go, hey, can you order some more of that? Because they stopped giving it to us.
This company this was the first time we had where they said you can't do the ad until you've been on this for 30 days.
Yeah, they threw down, man.
Which I thought was so cool.
Down.
That's one thing that intrigued us because, you believe in this so much that know we're going to come back after a month and be like, you got to try this.
And you should have you listened to the podcast or the Armageddon Update? Because he will. If you want
30 days, you can levitate.
It's cool. Really important during cold and flu season, COVID season, all the crap seasons that we have going, Trump season, whatever it is. This will help you feel the best that you can possibly feel.
Do you know that weird rush I get from when I do I'll get pure wheatgrass. It's not the same. It's because that one scares me a little bit. Because my body reacts to stuff like this. This just makes me feel better. I like it.
Yeah, me too. So right now you can reclaim your health, arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop of the Athletic Greens in a cup of water every day. That's all you have to do. You don't need to take a bunch of different pills, supplements. So to make it easy to try, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. That's what he's talking about with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Titus. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Titus to take ownership of your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Reminder to people: it is not a discount code. It is a web address.
Correct. Right. athleticgreens.com/Titus.
Yeah, you don't need a discount code. They just give you the thing at the beginning that we already said
from that page.
Right. Putin said today that anybody who tries to get involved in Ukraine will be dealt with swiftly. He also shut off the gas taps to Poland and Moldova or somewhere else. He's turned off the natural gas. I said that today.
Because they refused to pay for it in rubles.
Because they wouldn't pay in rubles. They're like, we don't have rubles, and we had them, but I used them to line the cat box. We had a lot of rubles.
What would a Russian cat sound like?
No.
I could hear it. I knew. I like to watch you kind of light up like, okay.
Hold on. Noises. Mouth configuration. Meow.
I like him.
So guys, I think we need to face something, and I'm gonna call it, and I don't want to call it. It's the worst thing I've ever called, and I don't want it to happen.
Are you gonna say it?
We're on our way. We're on our way. There's nothing. Right? Okay. So Lloyd Austin and Blinken both go to Ukraine. We have actually now reestablished our diplomatic office in Ukraine. We are telling Putin basically, fuck.
Who would take that job assignment?
Exactly.
Sean Penn.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sean Penn.
He is the diplomat.
He's already there.
He's the dude.
I would totally love Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Of course I am. He's got a gun around him.
He's building the desk.
Yeah. Who would take that job? Sean Penn. Perfect. We are on the brink of world war. The problem is it, someone gave me a big lecture. Oh, my buddy Tony, he was telling me, he was screaming at me. We were working out on Sunday. He was screaming at me. I go, they kept talking about it's going to be World War III. I go, guys, we're in World War III. What are you talking about? And he goes, no, China. And he starts listing countries like they all have to get involved.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But aren't we? If Poland, us, Germany, who else? France, everybody's sending Ukraine weapons. Isn't that 5 countries involved right now? And you got Belarus helping Russia. You got Belarus,
he has Saudi, Belarus,
and China.
Turkey.
Turkey's helping them out. China's being weird about it. China's being cagey because China knows that if you fuck with us, you lose.
We're not buying your.
We are not going to
anymore.
Dollar General and buying your shit anymore. That's what's gonna happen.
That's right.
It feels like a once in 100-year shakeup of the entire planet, doesn't it? I mean, this last couple of years just feels like...
Well, if it's feeling that bad and you're not sleeping that well...
All right! Hey, nice setup. Look, I leaned it right in.
This episode also brought to you by Boll and Branch. Boll and Branch sheets.
Oh.
Yeah. See, there's the ad. And we're done.
If you don't like Putin, you want to sleep on these sheets.
Boll and Branch uses the best 100% organic cotton threads on earth. So that's the difference that you feel. And why it's so soft. And why they keep getting better every time you wash them.
Well, they've been around for a long time. So many presidents use them. I've been hearing this ad for a long time.
Me too.
I'm serious. We drive to the cabin over here. Boll and Branch, presidents. True, I guess.
Republican presidents also?
But all the good, yes, all the presidents. Presidents. So I was going to say something horrible. For
sheets?
So we get the box, and again, because we got a sample, like I was talking about, and we get in the box. It's insane. I love when someone gives us something, or you buy something that as you open it, you're even more impressed. That's what it was, and the sheets were awesome. Just so you guys know, she's a psycho about sheets. She irons our sheets.
No.
Do you really?
Not ours. Not exactly. Just the guest bedrooms. If Rosa won't do it, I sometimes, if someone's coming, I will.
You are the Elon Musk.
At least the pillowcases. You can't be having all ratty looking pillowcases.
She irons our pillowcases too. She does.
It's just whatever. Anyway, I got nothing.
She got
today.
a little OCD, but she loves. Honestly, I could just, if we were homeless, the one thing we would get you would be like,
we'd have the best.
You'd be like, we are not sleeping on these.
It would be Boll and Branch in that box all day long.
The tent would be perfectly smooth.
Exactly. I told him I'd be out there sweeping. The sheets are so soft; they get better every time you wash them. But also they're breathable, which is really important for me because I am hot all the time.
Yes, you are.
Shut up. So better sleep in a hard world. This is what you need. That's how I segued into it.
They're nice, man.
We got white because I like bleaching.
Well, here's the thing. We've always before they were advertised, we've always had quality sheets because you just demand it.
Yep.
Me, Star Wars, it doesn't matter. I've had Star Wars, Spider-Man sheets, whatever. That's what I had before I met you. Yeah, Bob the Builder. Those were nice.
He loves those.
They were 80 thread count.
There's a little sawdust in there, but
there are 3 U.S.
Burlapalicious is what they were. But these guys, so she's so specific about it. This is I will say this. This is the one ad that you would have said no to if they weren't good.
Yes, correct. They're 100% free from toxins, which means they don't have pesticides, formaldehyde, or other harsh chemicals, which is, it's a thing. You don't read too much online because you'll be upset. So they give you a 30-night risk-free trial. That's another thing I really like about it, because they know that if you try them, you're not going to send them back. You also get free shipping and free returns on all orders if you did decide to send them back. You get 15% off your first set of sheets when you use promo code Titus at bollandbranch.com. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com, promo code Titus.
You know what I'm proud of? I have a lot of friends that did podcasts, and I'd go do their podcasts, and they would sell whatever they got. I'm really proud that we don't do that. I'm really proud that, like, every time you bring something up, I'm like, oh, I love this guy. Oh, I like that. Yep. Yeah. We got to give him more free stuff than we get when we get it.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments. Post it on Twitter. Hashtag give Highlander some stuff on the Titus Podcast.
I was just realizing as we're talking about the stuff they sent us before we let them advertise that we haven't really said, hey, what's up, man? I feel like,
what are your thoughts on these sheets? They sound great. I'd like to iron some sheets too.
Well, I gave you my Bob the Builders, though. I transfer stuff all the time.
Oh,
we need to find the best shoes that come in size 14. That's what we need to find.
14?
Yeah, homeboys of 14.
I don't.
Ladies.
No.
Hello. Boom.
Oh, by the way, I'll say it again. If you want to meet the Highlander who is single and has a size 14 shoe.
What?
He will be at the live taping of Christopher Titus' special on May 7th at the El Portal Theater. One show, 8 p.m. That's it. So if you bought a 7 or a 9:30, we have consolidated because we only want to do one show at 8 o'clock. 7's too early, 9:30's too late. So May 7th. El Portal Theater. If you can't be there in person, you can still be there live. You can get a live stream ticket. They're only $15. You can have your whole house there for $15. You can watch in your underpants, drink your own drinks. Go to ChristopherTitus.com/tour to get those tickets.
And we were working on the graphics yesterday so we've got this 21-foot high by 36-foot wide LED screen, which is, don't give us too much stuff because we're like, yeah, you know what we're going to do with this?
There's also, I should say, and I don't know if by the time this airs that this will still be a thing, but there's only a few seats left to be there in person. So if you're planning on doing it and you haven't done it, there's only a few left. Some look open because he hasn't assigned some of our guests
under 20
yet.
There's like under 20
yeah,
seats left.
So go ChristopherTitus.com/tour if you want to be there in person, because it's gonna
be a good show. Now it's gonna be multimedia. It's gonna be kind of interactive in a weird way. You know, it's
how many graphics can we put up there?
Not
every
many.
Joke. Let's put something. No.
I already checked it out. We've got I can't even tell you how many. I actually told him the number yesterday, and he was no, and I said, wait, some of them are doubles.
I busted out a calculator.
We said originally 8.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We're
no.
going to have to trim
There's some that need them and some that don't. And then we have to work on the rhythm of it.
If you want to see what they're talking about, get tickets to the live stream or live in person May 7th.
Or follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Titus Nation. I actually put one of the graphics is going to it's at my Twitter header at Titus Nation on Twitter and Instagram.
Do you know what else happens on May 7th?
What?
Tickets to both of our shows at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival go on sale.
Scotland, hello Europe, hi. We are taking both of our shows. She's taking Beauty for Ashes, and I'm taking not special Zero Side Effects. I am taking Carrying Monsters because we all carry monsters. Yay! To Scotland Fringe Fest, and so if you guys want to get tickets, let's get them sold out. So I'm not scared.
You can live stream this special on the 7th, and then see an entirely different show in Scotland in August.
Yeah, and it's a new Carrying Monsters, right? There's some new
pieces.
Yeah. There's some stuff there's some. Well, we never really did Carrying Monsters too. Yes, so there's some stuff that's
all going to be different. It's the same framework, but he never got to finish really, to work on it.
No, we did it during COVID in front of 17 people.
Well, your touring got cut short where normally you would have been fixing, changing,
it would have evolved,
adjusting, and so he didn't get to.
So all my dates for May, June, and July, people, when you come to see me shows, you're going to be seeing an entirely new show because we didn't get a chance to do it on the road.
Yeah, so you can watch this live stream and still come see him in June.
Let's finish talking about this. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I never played Risk as a kid. All I know is that it seems like it's getting worse on the daily. It's not getting better on the daily. Like Putin's not pulling his troops back. He's bombing kids and families, and he's going after civilians. This new general they put in, it was the guy he was like they called him the butcher,
yeah,
the butcher of Syria or whatever. And so that guy's there now. And by the way, that you don't negotiate with the butcher. So. I think we're going to do something, and I think he knows it. I think Putin knows it, and that's why he said what he said today. If anybody gets involved, we will react swiftly. And I kind of want to go, dude, you're getting your ass handed to you by Ukraine. What are you going to do?
We also got
He's only got nukes.
One of their hostages back. Call them hostages. We got former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed back today. We traded a drug smuggler for him. But they still have 2 other people, one of which is the WNBA player.
Yeah, right.
Brittany,
what the fuck?
What's her name? We need to, let's...
why? Here's when this happened, when they arrested her at the airport.
Brittany Griner. She was trying to leave the country because State Department had put out that
it's about to break off.
You need to get out. If you're there, she's in the airport, and they stop her and detain her, and that was in February, I think.
So she's still been in prison this whole time.
Yeah.
It's a trumped-up charge.
But the Russian team is now incredible now.
They're going to
win the Olympics next year.
They're saying that the charges against her, it was like weed something
vape,
or other, paraphernalia.
Like a vape pen.
Maximum penalty of 10 years in a Russian prison.
Wow. So I'm going to say something crazy, and everyone's going to get mad at me.
Cannabis oil she had.
Cannabis oil. So they called it hashish, though. They said it was hashish. The Russians reported it as hashish, which makes it sounds really bad. Like
that's so like 1901.
Yeah.
The Moscow court just announced that it is extending her detention until at least May 19th.
I don't know. Maybe some people can comment on this. I think what's going to happen is we are going to either it's very stealthily, and we are going to send in a bunch of shit, and there's going to be an attack, and we're going to either go across Ukraine and blow the shit out of the Russians, and it might be under NATO forces. Putin can't beat NATO. Then at this point, he's going to get crazy and pull a nuke. That's what I think. He's going to pull a tactical nuke. Putin, that video we saw of him last week, did you see how bad he looked?
Is that the one where he was like gripping the table?
Yeah, and his
fuck?
thumb is flexing, and he's like
kind of weirdly slumping.
But we don't think that was anger. You think it's something?
No, and his foot was. Did you see how he's slumping down? Like it looks like when someone's sick and their body starts to kind of cave in on itself. That's what it looked like. So. I think this man knows
that was maybe the button for the nuke. He's just like,
I'm going to push it.
I'm going to
say something wrong.
And then his cat said, yo. So I think what's going to happen is I think this is going to get way worse before it gets better. Way worse before it gets better because he's not going to help. He's not changing it. He's not backing off Ukraine. In Russia, I was talking to Zach. Zach just came back from filming that movie, and he said all those people in those countries. He goes, dude, if you walk the streets and you're a man and you laugh, people think you're fucking weird. You're weak.
You're weak. Yeah.
You're weak because you're laughing.
Yeah, which totally makes sense about all the Russian dudes outside the Starbucks.
No shit.
And to film a comedy there.
It's perfect. Like, wow. Yeah. No. Well, they weren't a live audience.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like
a
stage.
But that's the whole thing is that he's so he
yeah.
said
What
there,
would that be like to do comedy in Russia?
Oh man, and he loses. So if Putin loses, and he's losing that. By the way, this is why this hostage transfer happened today. So Putin has a victory. We got one of our guys back. That's what he's going to say. He's had 0 victories. They've tried to announce they announced they took Mariupol, but they didn't.
Well, here's the difference between World War II and now. Hitler had a lot of victories. Leading up to it.
Yeah.
So their momentum was just like growing and growing.
Yeah. I look at the history now, and after being kind of involved in, living through what little bit we're living through right now, it's weird to watch how long it took us to get involved.
Oh yeah, way late.
We kept saying it's not happening as his troops kept amassing on the border, and then there were 100,000, and we we were like, it's a training exercise.
Yep.
No, we didn't. No, Biden said no. He's attacking. He's attacking.
But we didn't do any. I guess we can't.
We can't. And now he's going into. There's another. What's the other country he's going? Moldova. As he actually said he wants to take that for Russia now. Announced it.
Well,
motherfucker
this is
announced
what,
it.
This is what.
What is he just sitting in a room going, got it, need it, got it. What's he doing? Like, why did you just throw
Zelensky? Holy shit, my brain just keeps going out today.
But why did
this is what he said. He's not going to stop with Ukraine.
Nope.
It's just going to keep easing out. And Poland, I mean.
Well, that was an argument. We were working out on Sunday, and they go, he's got nukes, dude. And I went, okay. So he goes into Poland, he goes into Germany, he goes into France because he's got nukes, and we don't do anything there also.
Yeah.
You guys are just holding off the inevitable. That's all they're doing. Because at that point, if we don't go in, what's going to happen is, here's the thing. If a guy holds a gun to your head all the time, you say, I'm not going to do anything, hold a gun. Eventually, I'm not, you pull a gun, you start to pull a gun, I'm grabbing your gun. I'm not fucking going to let you get it to my head. This is how it's going to fucking work. I'll take a leg shot, I'll take an arm shot, you're not getting it to my head. What we're doing right now is letting Putin fucking put that nuke to our head, and we think he's got a nuke to our head, we can't do anything. Goes into Poland, he's got a nuke to our head, can't do anything. And that's bullshit. This motherfucker, we've seen, someone said it great. Currently, right now, Russia has a third-rate army that can't stand up to the Ukrainians, and these are dudes that were teachers, business people, and they were just there. They're all joined the army now. So by waiting and letting this guy do this, he's positioning nukes, he's getting stuff ready, he's making sure everything's working. By waiting, we're actually letting him fucking get shit ready to nuke somebody instead of just going in and shutting this fucker down. And there's not a country in the world. The only problem I see, I see China being a problem because they have all the weapons they need, but they're seeing how we react. And if Biden doesn't do anything, and we don't know what's going on. Didn't you say someone was saying somebody in intelligence? Oh, it was at Sunday. Someone was saying so-and-so's husband is in intelligence, and he said, no, we're doing some serious illegal shit right now, but no one's going to hear about it.
I was going to say, with the CIA is,
we're America, of course. I was like,
we probably fucking started it.
We went into Pakistan and took Osama bin Laden out into someone else's country and took out a dude from a different country in the middle of the night. Like, we can't.
And then buried
him up, like,
and then buried him at sea.
The day before the election or whatever, voting or whatever.
So I think what's going to happen is the longer we wait, the worse it's going to get. And I know it's all bad. There's no, you want to talk rock in a hard place. If we go after Putin and we shut him down, let's say they go in and we push everything out of Russia, he's got every right to pull a nuke if he wants. And I think he's gonna. I think he knows he's near the end of his life. I think something's wrong with him. He started seeing an oncologist 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he started seeing.
How do we know that?
There was a report.
Twitter?
There was no. I went through it. It was in like what's the British paper? Not the Daily Mirror. Not one of the shitty ones. It was like it was the BBC. It was a report that he started seeing an oncologist 2 years ago. I look it up. I mean, look it up. You have your computer. And don't we have another ad today?
No, we're done.
We're done with two ads?
Gotta go. I gotta, be in bed at 6 p.m. because our flight leaves at 5 a.m.
Where are we going to be this Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday night, we're going to be in Dayton at the Funny Bone. One show only. There's only a few seats left for that. And then Liberty Township, Funny Bone, Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each night. Off Sunday, home on Sunday.
Guys, these are the last 5 shows before we film this, so please come out to Liberty to watch this show. It's really good. Anyways, World War is not going to happen. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not going to happen, but I'm saying that we got to become the America we were in World War II.
This time we only have one dictator we're dealing with. In World War II, we had 3.
Oh,
right?
we had
so but
Stalin,
you're completely discounting Xi and MBS because they're quiet right now. But we know that they're supporting him, and there's some weird stuff going on. Yeah.
Well, MBS won't even talk to Biden.
I know.
Or his father won't even pick the phone up.
I know.
And how much oil we buy? People, what's going to happen is in this.
They talked to Jared Kushner, though. They gave him a lot of money.
$2 billion. I wonder how much top secret information you have to give the Saudis before they give you $2 billion.
For nothing that you don't have to repay.
For an investment fund that you don't have to repay. I wonder how much top secret info.
So weird.
Weird, right? So you guys just scared the shit out of me, by the way, by bringing up the other 2 days. He said, there's only one dictator. I was like, yes. And she says, no, there's 2. Fuck. I was like,
but they're
there's
not
more than that.
Totally on the same page yet.
Oh, sure they are.
So
he was already meeting with both of them separately.
But didn't we meet with Xi? Is it Xi or Xi? What is his name?
Xi.
Xi. It's Xi.
XI.
Yeah.
XI. You don't know how to say that?
Here's the one thing that may stop a world war.
You're pointing a lot. Today.
Sorry, I'm just trying.
A lot of finger
I'm
pointing.
trying to wrap my mind around this.
You haven't pointed at the Highlander at all.
We.
See?
Yeah, wow, it is fast. Sorry. Sorry, dude. Sorry, hun. I didn't mean to.
Don't call me hun. I hate hun.
All right, babe. Sexy.
We're so close. We're so like.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, right? When he's like over,
it's like
and
I can see your fingerprint.
I'm gonna
his finger is erect. It's not limp. It's erect, and it's like it's a lot. It's a lot.
I never give anybody the flaccid finger.
I'm already brain dead today. I'm like I can't.
One last thing. Let me finish. I'm gonna bring it all back around to NAFTA.
Please do.
Because of NAFTA. The one maybe bonus of NAFTA, because we became this international, like we became one world with products. China needs us. Maybe that's possible. And because of all the oil that we take from Saudi needs us. So all we have to do is shut down the $200 billion that they were paying to Saudi for oil.
Didn't you see that big deal right before Putin invaded Ukraine that he signed with China for oil?
They had buddies. They had big buddies. Yeah, they went
big money deal. So he knew that he didn't need us if we cut that off.
Right. He
did that right before. So it's very good
oil
timing.
prices are about to go up again because he just cut off all the natural gas to Poland. Guys, do me a favor. Now I want you to remember something. Our fathers, our grandfathers, our great grandfathers, and Grandma Jean. We know this because of Grandma Jean. Shit went down, and instead of bitching, everybody sucked it up. And we got behind it to end this fucking dude who's killing thousands and thousands of people. This dude needs to be ended. And we're going to have to suck it up to make that happen. I mean, all of us as Americans. It's the one, we can't be like, oh my God, I can't believe gas is $6. And well, you know what? Then maybe you should maybe we should move on to the next technology. Maybe we need to get our fucking cages rattled a bit so we get better. But just understand, for all you people out there, man, and my fellow Americans, I don't care what side you believe on. I think we all agree that when a dude gets this fucking evil, we got to end it. Well, let's get through this together and we'll fight on the B side of it, okay? Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out. Fun fact.
Oh, wait, sorry. We're not done yet. You know why? And now, after that, talking about World War and having to suck it up, let's go to Highlanders Fun Facts.
I always... I have backups, and I feel like I try to.
Let's do two fun facts.
No. We'll do one.
Let's just choose.
Let's choose the most fun one.
Here we go. All right.
Well, who's going to judge that?
He has to. This is him bringing the most fun he can possibly bring week after week.
The most fun. This one's so fun.
Do tell, Ken.
In Ohio, DUI offenders must use different colored license plates.
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to Ohio this weekend. Nice
What
little
color?
tie-in.
What color?
Yellow. So look out for the yellow license plates. All right. Whoops.
Wow.
The standard Ohio license plate is white with navy blue letters and numbers and a red border. That is, of course, if you don't have multiple DUIs.
How many do you have to get the license plate?
2, I guess, whatever, multiple. I don't know.
Yellow because the second one you probably peed yourself. If you didn't learn the first time, that's why it's yellow.
That's why.
Wow, so
they didn't give you a new one. You just peed on it.
It's basically the scarlet letter, but it's the...
I love that. When I see a yellow Ohio ice plate, I'll be like, loser!
That should be a Twitter thing. You just be like, this is an asshole mark.
That's really interesting.
That's right.
Instead of those like blue.
You got a bullet hole nickname? No, it's an asshole. I got to. Why?
It's like a brown star.
I tweeted out cunt 3 times. I'm sorry. I get I'm an idiot. Wow, that's interesting. So people in Ohio, every time you see the yellow, they probably know, but if
that would be really hard to drive to work.
Yes, if you park in a parking lot.
Yep.
You're loading your cars at the grocery store.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, drunkie?
But your boss seeing it, that would be really uncomfortable.
And some would be like, yeah, but that dude knows how to party.
Well, in Ohio, you're probably right.
Guys, is that it?
And we'll be in Ohio this weekend.
And that was Highlanders Fun Fact.
Looking for yellow license plates.
So guys, again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please go to Christopher Titus TV. View other videos. Highlanders putting stuff up all the time. Watch the Armageddon updates. Please comment on the Armageddon updates and pass them around. I think that we try to keep, as I always say, scream sanity and keep screaming sanity. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.
Puppies. There's puppies. Dude, time to go home with mom.